From the Ministry of the Presidency in Georgetown, this is This Week with the President.
Welcome to This Week with the President, a weekly news magazine which provides you with an in-depth look at the policies, programs, and work of the President of Guyana. In the highlights, President engages diaspora in investment opportunities in Guyana. Guyana to receive assessment on border controversy with Venezuela next month, and another school bus commissioned at Tapakuma. On October 1st, Guyana celebrates National Tree Day, which was launched by President David Granger in 2015. With Guyana positioning itself as an integral partner in the global green movement, Tree Day marks an opportunity for the national consciousness to be raised with regards to the sustainable management of the environment. During his address to the 71st United Nations General Assembly, the President declared that Guyana is proud of its place as a reliable and cooperative partner in the international efforts to protect the Earth's environment.
Guyana is part of the Guyana Shield, which is an area of the Earth which is bigger than Greenland, and it contains the most unique biodiversity in the world. It is part of the lungs of the Earth. It is part of the freshwater reserves of the Earth. Guyana itself is what you call a net carbon sink. That means we help other countries to breathe. So this is a most important development in Guyana's international relations. We've already, as you know, last Friday we signed an agreement with the Federal Republic of Germany. We have an ongoing agreement with the Kingdom of Norway. And we are ensuring that the message of Guyana's green economy is one that is delivered to potential investors. We want to see green energy, but more use of solar, air, hydro, biogas generation. We want to contribute to countering the effects of climate change. We want to protect our own coastal zone. We want to provide education in biodiversity, develop ecotourism. We want to develop exports based on our green technology.
It is important that every Guyanese begins to understand the value of our diverse ecosystems and see it as part of their responsibility to be a vanguard of Guyana's patrimony. Guyana is seen as a leader in the implementation of goal number 15 of the UN agenda, under which UN member states pledge to protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. This green trajectory offers tremendous investment opportunities. This was the President's message to the Guyanese diaspora in New York. This engagement was also held on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly last week. It provided members of the diaspora with an opportunity to be updated on current developments in their country. As a result of Guyana's commitment to environmental protection and sustainable development, President Granger was the first to be congratulated by UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon at a special high-level event on entry into force of the Paris Agreement on Climate Change.
It is not a sideshow, it is not a tourist attraction. This is real money, this is real development, this is the future of not only of our country, it's the future of our continent and the world.
The President said that Guyana is an integral part of the green movement, as it is one of the most beautiful and bountiful Caribbean countries endowed with valuable natural resources. He said that he is confident that this green agenda that the country has adopted will be an important step in ensuring that the economy is transformed, because there would be more economic enterprises.
There will be more employment for young people in these industries. Our energy needs will be transformed, because in a place like the Rupununi, we've got about 13.5 hours of sunshine average per day, and that could generate solar power all year round. We are making sure that our environment is protected, that our rivers and our wetlands are protected. Our protected areas, we're moving protected areas from just the Kanaku and the Shell Beach. Every single region is going to have a protected area. so that our swamps are protected, our mountains are protected, our wetlands, our savannas are protected, and we are going to have a real earthly paradise and still provide employment for people, still have a vibrant economy. So I have no doubt at all that the course that we are plotting will be one that is going to be beneficial to our entire nation. Yes, there's petroleum, but that is the bonus. A lot of what will come from petroleum will go into our sovereign wealth fund, so your children wouldn't have to drop out of school, your children wouldn't have to worry about employment, because the money is not going to be squandered by me. It is going, a lot of it is going to go into the sovereign wealth fund. So from every point of view, economic, environmental, employment of our young people, we feel that we're on the right course.
The Guyana-Venezuela border controversy continued to be a major concern to the government, as Guyana pushes for a final and binding settlement of the issue. On September 24, President David Granger met with UN Secretary-General Mr. Ban Ki-moon, who informed that he will present to both parties an assessment of the situation in November. The Secretary-General will be demitting office in December. He has been integrally involved in this matter more so over the past 2 years.
My view is that the Secretary General has been working within the framework. Don't forget he's a Secretary General. He's not an arbiter. All he can do is choose a course which is laid down in the Charter of the United Nations, and also which is prescribed for him in the Geneva Agreement of February 1966. But we are satisfied that he has been working within the limitations of his office.
During the meeting with the Secretary General, the President said that Guyana is committed to providing additional information which the UN may require in order to complete that assessment. He expressed the country's appreciation to the Secretary General, noting that his seriousness in handling the matter since it intensified last year shows his determination and sincerity to bring the matter to a close.
In my experience over the last 50 years, I have not seen a Secretary General so engaged in this matter. He has he's done everything possible, I feel, particularly within last year, since our first meeting in Bridgetown, to ensure that his chef de cabinet, his representatives, shuttle between Caracas and Georgetown. And whenever we've met, he's always fully abreast with the controversy. And I am personally convinced of his sincerity in trying to bring this matter to closure.
Since the signing of the Geneva Agreement in February 1966, over 50 years ago, Guyana has abided by all of its provisions. That agreement has given the Secretary General specific responsibilities in the absence of Guyana and Venezuela reaching a mutually accepted position.
I'm satisfied that he's gone a long way towards trying to work on both parties to take steps necessary to resolve the matter.
Despite the Geneva Agreement, Guyana has been dealing with aggression from neighboring Venezuela over the past 50 years. The Secretary General is required to choose a course for the peaceful resolution of the controversy, and Guyana's position is that the good officers process, which has been in place, has been exhausted, and is urging the Secretary General to recommend a juridical solution to the matter. Approximately 14 months after the President made the initial call on his 70th birthday for the provision of transportation to get children to school, the 13th school bus was commissioned this week at Tapakuma Village, Pomeroon, Supinam, Region 2. This is all part of the overall effort of improving access to education and ensuring that every child attends school. The 26-seater vehicle was donated to the buses, boats, bicycles, plus breakfast and books program by businessman Mr. Joe Jagmohan of Innovative Mining Incorporated.
Right here in Tapakuma, the ministry was able to conduct a Face the Community meeting in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. people, following that first committee meeting, your request is today bearing fruit. You asked for a bus, and the president is delivering that bus today. You asked for a printer, and we are delivering more than a printer. Rather, the school is getting a computer and a printer today. You asked for sports gears, and we are delivering that too today. Yes, this is all in keeping with the president's vision for all the people of Guyana.
President Granger reminded that the idea behind the program came into being after Pomeroon residents complained bitterly about high costs they're forced to incur to send their children to school in charity on the Essequibo coast.
Today we are opening a chapter in the life of hundreds of children who will be using this bus. Since this program started on the 15th of July last year, we have now produced 13 buses, over 10 boats, over 500 bicycles. And we are going to continue helping people who want to help themselves. And I want you to understand that this government is not a Georgetown government, it's not a coastland government, it's not an Amerindian government or an African government or an Indian government. This is a national government. And wherever the needs exist, we are going to respond to those needs.
The head of state spoke of his government's deep concern for the state of affairs of the education system in Guyana, where a large number of students fail at the national grade 6 examinations every year.
More than half of our children fail all 4 subjects at the national grade 6 assessment. And in the hinterland is worse. Sometimes in these communities, 70 or 80 or 90% of the children fail science or fail English or fail mathematics. They don't fail because they're stupidity. They fail because they don't get the opportunity to go to school. I know that in this country there are 4,000 dropouts every year from primary and secondary schools. I'm not happy that children drop out of school. So what we want to do with this bus is make sure that children can get to school. What we want to do with this bus is to make sure that ECIS, every child in school.
Guyana is a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which states that every child has the right to primary education. And having achieved universal access to primary education, the country is now working to achieve universal access to secondary education. This week in the Presidency and Beyond, we will take a look at the most recent batch of beneficiaries of the First Lady's Self-Reliance and Success in Business program. The Essequibo leg of the program was launched on September 29 at the regional office in Anna, Regina. The First Lady believes that empowering women is vital in the process of nation building.
I am very happy to note that we exceeded once more our target number of participants. We said 30, and I think we have 34 graduates today. Thank you very much, and it is an example of your interest and a commendation to you that you stayed the course because you felt that you were benefiting from this. And I hope you will take it with you when you get back, what you have learned here, when you get back to your communities. I hope too that the sisterhood you would have had established here will stay with you. So if you are experiencing challenges, you will feel very free to call on somebody else to say, look, this is my problem. How can I solve it? Or you can call Mr. Puran himself. And they are always willing, I know, they are always willing to continue to advise you and to help in any way they can.
The Self-Reliance and Success in Business workshop has to date benefited over 200 women across the regions and from all walks of life. It is designed to provide technical know-how on setting up a business or expanding an existing one. And with that, we've come to the end of this week's program. Thank you for joining me. For regular updates on the Ministry of the Presidency, go to our website, www.motp.gov.gy. Like our Facebook page, Ministry of the Presidency, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MOTP Guyana. Do have a safe and productive rest of the week, and happy 3 Day. Goodbye.